Since finance's dawn, ultimate stores of value, gold, corporates, Bitcoin, 12 years to 1 TAO, finite, measurable. Next, intelligence, defying scale. In the world of artificial intelligence, we stand before a series of locked doors. Today's AI landscape is dominated by a handful of colossal gatekeepers. Giants like OpenAI, Google, and Meta have constructed digital fortresses, trapping the future of intelligence within their corporate walls. They are the new kings, and their servers are the castles. These entities wield absolute control. They dictate who gets access, what data is used, and which models see the light of day. They have become the central bankers of intelligence, and we are all forced to transact on their terms. This centralization creates a dangerous bottleneck, a single point of failure for one of humanity's most important technologies. The consequences are severe and far-reaching. First, the exorbitant costs. Developing and running cutting-edge AI requires immense computational power, a resource these corporations monopolize and rent out at a premium. For developers and startups, the price of innovation is a bill they can't afford to pay, stifling competition before it can even begin. You don't own the intelligence, you merely rent a fleeting connection to it through an API. Your access subject to their pricing, their terms, and their whims. Then comes the censorship. When a single entity controls the flow of information, it also controls the narrative. Models can be trained with inherent biases, or selectively filtered to align with a corporate or political agenda. This isn't just a technical limitation, it's a muzzle on free expression and objective inquiry. And what happens when a government decides a particular AI is too powerful? They don't need to shut down 1 million users, they just need to knock on one door. The entire ecosystem is fragile, susceptible to regulatory capture and shutdown. This model doesn't just slow the path to artificial general intelligence, it actively blocks it, diverting our collective journey down a controlled, sanitized, and ultimately stagnant path. But there is another way, a model that flips this paradigm on its head. Counter-revolution, white paper vision, intelligence as global permissionless commodity. Bittensaw, Layer 1 blockchain as neural internet, coordinating competing AI models. UMA consensus, proof of intelligence. Miners compete with AI outputs. Validators score value. Network directs scarce TAO to top intelligence. No hash mining, mine smarts. Darwinian self-optimization. This is where the value explodes. Welcome to the subnet revolution. On the Bittensaw network, subnets are not just features, they are sovereign, competitive marketplaces built on top of the TAO protocol. Think of them as individual, hyper-specialized digital economies, each one a universe of potential, all interconnected within the grander Bittensaw cosmos. Each subnet is its own battleground for innovation, a dedicated arena where miners from across the globe compete to provide the most efficient, powerful, and cost-effective solutions for specific AI tasks. This isn't a monolithic, one-size-fits-all system. It's a dynamic, ever-expanding federation of AI services. The competition is relentless, and it drives radical efficiency. Take, for example, a subnet like Shoots, which is laser-focused on one thing, providing low-cost, high-speed AI inference. When a request hits this subnet, a real-time auction begins. Miners bid against each other, driving the price down to the absolute floor. You can literally watch the cost per task tick down in real time on the marketplace dashboard, while the throughput meter climbs higher and higher. The result? You get your AI-generated output returned in a fraction of a second, for a fraction of a penny. This is the power of a decentralized market at work, crushing the exorbitant costs of centralized providers and making AI accessible to everyone. But it's not just about inference. Other subnets are tackling one of the biggest challenges in AI: data. Instead of relying on centrally controlled, often biased datasets, bit-and-source subnets can build entirely new ones from the ground up in a completely decentralized and verifiable way. Imagine distributed shards of data from countless independent sources, all flowing into the network. The subnet then works to cleanse, verify, and recombine these shards into pristine, high-quality datasets. Crucially, every piece of data can be stamped with its origin, ensuring provenance, and managed with explicit consent. This creates a foundation of trust and transparency that is simply impossible in the closed-off world of big tech. Ultimately, bit-and-source subnet architecture functions as a modular, infinitely scalable operating system for AI. It's a launchpad for an uncapped number of new AI companies and applications to be built, each as its own sovereign subnet. Think of an infinite grid of AI app tiles, each one a potential billion-dollar idea waiting to be deployed. With a few clicks, a developer can launch a new subnet, define its rules, and instantly tap into a global network of miners ready to provide the intelligence. This is the Cambrian explosion of AI, happening right now. From text and image generation to data analysis and scientific research, the utility is truly uncapped. This is how bit-and-source becomes the foundational layer for the next generation of the internet, an internet of intelligence. Bitcoin, 12 years to 1T. TAO, 7, exponential advantage, builds on crypto base, plus AI boom. 1T by 2030, chess 47,619 Tyne, TAO. Scarcity plus utility math. In the digital age, the battle for control is waged on the terrain of information. Centralized AI, controlled by a handful of corporate giants, represents a critical vulnerability. These systems are not just tools, they are choke points. Governments can and will exert pressure. We see it already. China erects its Great Firewall, banning services that don't comply with state ideology. In the West, the threat is different, but no less potent. Antitrust lawsuits and sweeping regulations loom over big tech, threatening to dismantle or heavily restrict the very platforms that power their AI. A single executive order, a new piece of legislation, or a shift in political winds could cripple access for millions, silencing innovation and enforcing a digital monoculture. This is the inherent fragility of centralization. When you have a kill switch, it's only a matter of time before someone decides to flip it. bit-and-source offers a radical alternative. It is not a company, it is a protocol. It is not located in a single country. It is everywhere and nowhere at once. By design, it is permissionless. Anyone, from a developer in a Silicon Valley garage to a student in a Lagos internet cafe, can contribute to the network and access its intelligence. There are no gatekeepers to appease, no central servers to shut down. This is not just a technological innovation, it is a geopolitical masterstroke. While centralized systems are brittle, forced to navigate a minefield of competing national interests, bit-and-source is anti-fragile. It roots around censorship as naturally as water flows around a stone. It thrives in the very chaos that cripples its centralized counterparts. This resilience makes bit-and-source the ultimate safe haven asset in an era of escalating digital tensions. As nations weaponize access to technology, a decentralized, unstoppable network of intelligence becomes invaluable. Consider the political landscape. A potential return of a Trump administration has already signaled a favorable stance towards decentralized technologies, viewing them as a bulwark against institutional control and censorship. This isn't a partisan issue, it's a strategic one. Investing in Bittensaw is a bet on digital freedom, a hedge against the inevitable overreach of both corporate and state power. It's a declaration that intelligence, like truth, cannot be contained. It will always find a way to be free. Genesis of Resilient Asset, Anti-Fragile Distributed Thought Network, unlocks global freedom, innovation, not 1T, priceless. Are you in? Not financial advice. Do your own research. Thank you for learning with us. Please like, share, and subscribe to Buy Stake Chill.